Good morning. I'm Amy Winslow, Director of Missions. I'd like you to join me this morning as I read to you from A Gift from the Sea by Anne Morrow Lindbergh. Right now is a time when I don't feel a lot of peace, and this passage really helped me to find some center. I want to be at peace with myself. I want a singleness of eye, a purity of intention, a central core to my life that will enable me to carry out my obligations and activities as well as I can. I want, in fact, to borrow from the language of the saints to live in grace as much of the time as possible. I'm not using this term in a strictly theological sense. By grace, I mean an inner harmony, essentially spiritual, which can be translated into outer harmony. I'm seeking perhaps what Socrates asked for in the prayer from the Phaedrus when he said, "May the outward and inward man be at one." I would like to achieve a state of inner spiritual grace from which I could function and give as I was meant to in the eyes of God. So I'd like to share with you something that I learned. I had the privilege of traveling to Nashville to learn from Wynne McGregor at the Upper Room, and I was taught a curriculum called The Way of the Child. And it's a way of spending time with God in quiet, in peace. And right now, that's the best relationship we've got. And processing with God is the right way to deal with what's happening in the world right now. So I'm going to light a candle. That would be the start of The Way of the Child. You light your candle, you sit in a quiet place, you talk to God about what's deep in your heart, and then quietly you move to different areas that you've preset up for you. So this is a sand container, and I just pick up the sand, let it run through my fingers. I just feel, think, pray. I might start off writing words like hurt or pain, and hopefully I end up writing the word hope. And you might have some items in there, you might be creating patterns, and it's just a time to be quiet while you're touching and tactily feeling the sand run between your fingers. The next station that I'm going to suggest you do early is the World Station. Find a credible source, find something other than social media to read about what's happening in the world. And it's a time to grieve and to process. There's a lot going on, over 100,000 lives lost, 49 lives remembered, and a single life lost almost every day these days. So read something and feel it, cry, yell, scream, whatever you need to do, and then take a journal and write something, not on social media, on these pages. Write something to God. Process how you're feeling, and perhaps you're creating some sort of a record in this horrible historical time that will be something you can pass on to your children, something you can go back and read, and hopefully as you're processing and you're writing your feelings, God is speaking to you and giving you some answers and some healing. The next place to go is a gazing station, and one beautiful thing to gaze at is the flicker of this flame. The different colors, the patterns, how it changes depending on how the wind is blowing it is beautiful. But as you pray, just find this rock I found that is shaped like a fish. I hold this in my hand tightly. I have some of our stones from baptism renewal in here. And then also go to the cross, taking a cross and holding it between your hands, and saying your prayers and just spending some time with God. I also have a finger labyrinth, which is pretty cool. These are things that you can buy, and you just, instead of walking the labyrinth, you can just trace it with your finger, and it's a time to think and feel and be quiet and allow God to step into your day and give you some healing. The last place is just a big pile of pillows with some of your favorite books and reading something and just spending some time learning, growing, changing, feeling. So I want to close with something from Maya Angelou. And this is a song that she wrote. You said to lean on your arm. I am leaning. You said to trust in your love. I am trusting. You said to call on your name, and I'm calling. I'm stepping out on your word. I hope that you spend some time with the best relationship you'll ever have. And I wish you peace today.